Hi everyone, so today's video is going to be part 2 of my cacti and succulent updates for autumn. So for part 2, I'm going to focus on my desert cacti, and we'll start with Astrophytum niveum variation nudum. So for most of the summer, my cacti were living outside, except for this one. It's mainly because this one for some reason didn't grow any decent roots. I did knock it out of the pot and I noticed there's not much there, so I wanted to keep it inside just to keep an eye on it. And it also ended up getting thrips as well, but since then it's been okay. I haven't checked if there's any new root growth. I'm just concerned that if I take it out of the pot to check, then I'm gonna set it back, so pretty much just leaving it as is. It doesn't seem to be dying though, which is a good sign, I think. So just to show you my setup, my balcony is southwest facing, so the light kind of comes in this direction throughout the day. This one is Mammillaria, bocasana, roseiflora. It did not bloom for me this year. It seems to be doing well. It's plumped up quite a bit since the summertime. This is a NOID cactus. I think at some point I thought it was a Cleistocactus winteri, but I don't think it's that one. It's done pretty okay for me, kind of stagnant. I think it has established itself in the gritty mix, so that's good. And this one is Notocactus leninghausii, and it's doing fine as well in my new place. One thing I noticed is relatively recently grew this much, and I noticed that these spines are going at the top, even though there was not much growth during the summer. I haven't been using any fertilizer recently, so I'm not sure why the sudden growth spurt is happening. This one is Echinopsis subdenudata, Dominos, and it bloomed for me over the summer. There's a new bud, well not new, there's another bud on here. I'm not sure what's going to happen with this one. I don't think it has aborted, but it doesn't really seem to be making any progress. And this one is my Echinopsis rose quartz. It's done pretty poorly for me this year. It definitely seems smaller than previously, but the good news is it's starting to establish in the pot. You can see that there's a root coming out from that growth there, so that's a good sign. And this is a NOID cactus. I had previously put it in the right hand corner, but it received a bit too much light and turned yellow, so I moved it to here, and it's definitely doing a lot better. Didn't see any blooms this year, but stems are nice and green, so that's good. And this is another NOID cactus. I think it's a type of Echinopsis, but it has no name on it. This was also in that right hand corner before, and it was turning yellow, so it's also here. Basically any cactus that's in this little tent was moved here because it got too much sun in the previous location. It's been doing well, although I didn't get any blooms from it. I'm not quite sure what to do with all the pups. I'm just gonna leave it for now. I do eventually want to repot this and that previous one into my new gritty mix. I'll wait for next year. This one is Echinocereus triglochidiatus inermis. I was a little bit worried about this plant because it didn't really do much. I like to squeeze my plants a little bit, but when I used to do this before, it felt pretty spongy, but it has since firmed up a bit, which is great. Yeah, and it's grown a little bit too, I think. It's not a very big plant, and there's some corking already on the sides, but I think this will be fine. And this is one of my Astrophytums, and this one also had some yellowing, but since I've moved it, it's plumped up quite a bit, and it's a nice green color, so this one's doing very well for me. And this one is my NOID Echiveria, and it's doing pretty well. It's established itself in the soil when I repotted it, so that's good. One thing I noticed is that it's growing kind of crooked, which is kind of annoying, but I guess it's fine. And this is my Lapidaria margaretae, and it's a little dehydrated, but it survived the heat wave, which I'll get into later, so this is fine. This is my Conophytum frutescens, and it's doing pretty well. You can see there are new growths coming out, which is pretty good. And this one is my monkey's tail cactus. Out of all the seedlings, only 3 individual plants are left, so this one is one. This one is another one, and then this one is the last one. So I'm very happy with the progress of this plant. This one is my Astrophytum asterias Kiko, and it's doing very well for me. It did well over the summer, it didn't really turn yellow from the heat. And last but not least is my Astrophytum asterias Super Kabuto. So the good news is this one did bloom for me this year, which is really nice, although I didn't have time to record it. So yeah, this one's doing very well for me. So those are the remains of my plants that died. There's actually more that I threw out because they were just fried. Basically what happened was I overestimated how much sun these plants could take. This is my first time in a southwest facing balcony basically, so it's kind of my fault that they fried, but lessons learned, I guess. Alrighty, so that's my video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!